This is 142.2, The Kingdom.
And once again, the Lombardi Trophy has a red and gold reflection. You can doubt the Chiefs. You can dislike the Chiefs. You can disrespect the Chiefs. You're gonna have to deal with the Kansas City Chiefs.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? What is up, everybody? Welcome to 142.2 The Kingdom live via YouTube or X, and where you are listening via X or YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We are back on a Wednesday, and man, we are back on one of the most winningest of winning weeks in a long time. A 31-0 shellacking against the rival Raiders. I mean, when we really dive into this and I say the actual team stats, it's kind of insane to say out loud, but man, it felt like a great win. I'm Dominic, of course. We got my man Richard. Trizzy will be joining us later, and hopefully DG will be joining us as well. But man, we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight, and let's just get started. So the Chiefs on Sunday played the Las Vegas Raiders, won 31-0. I'm about to list some incredible stats and fun stats from this game. Obviously, to stop an NFL team from scoring 0 points is insane. It's, I think, the first shutout in Andy Reid's tenure as the head coach of the Chiefs, I believe. I don't know if it's his first blowout ever. Well, not blowout, but first goose egg.
No, he's had a couple in the playoffs, but this is his first regular season shutout in over 400 games coached. So that's it. He's coached a lot of football, and this being the first time in the regular season against a divisional opponent, mind you, is crazy. Honestly, these stats are bonkers. Every time I go back and look at them.
All right, so let's start with total yards. 492 total yards to 96, I believe, was
96 total yards, 3 first downs, 96 total yards, almost 500 yards of offense for the Chiefs, and just an absolute domination of a divisional opponent is just absolutely insane. How's it going, Trizzy? Hey, look, man, going over these stats for the Raiders game, what more can you say? I mean, they speak for themselves, but what can you what more can you really say beyond 96 total yards, 3 total first downs over 4 quarters of football against a professional football team?
Greetings. I hate to do this right now, but I kind of told you guys, I kind of told you guys, I hate to be that guy right now, but all honesty aside, if you go back a couple of episodes, we were in a frantic state of mind, deservedly so. But all I said was, guys, we're going to figure it out. I think we have the potential to unlock Mahomes and make him get comfortable again. Obviously, we're praying for Josh Simmons and whatever situations he's dealing with back with his family. All regards. Hope everything is well. Hope he's taking his time to get back. Obviously, we need him out there, but, Jalen Moore has been stepping in and doing a more than commendable job. Shout out to Jalen Moore. But, yeah, guys, this is not surprising to me. This is kind of what I expected, with Xavier Worthy kind of fighting through his injury and not going out the season. Give us a little bit more availability in the playbook, some stuff the guys were used to. I was confident going into the Detroit Lions game. I didn't think that they were going to be able to get the run game going that much. I know that they complement the pass game and the run game well, just because you got to really have some guys in that box and really try to contain Jameer Gibbs. So I'm very encouraged about some of the stuff that I'm seeing right now. Obviously, it's still a little earlier in the season, but we needed those wins. Denver isn't losing, the Chargers aren't losing. So for those guys to kind of kick it up in the high year, I think 3 weeks in a row now. We're starting to see Pat Mahomes get comfortable. We're starting to see the offense open up. I think the game plan, the way that they're attacking linebackers and safeties and corners, making those guys uncomfortable at every part of the moment. There was a breakdown that I seen about that Brashad Smith kid starting to getting himself on film. I think him being a guy in the offense who's not really a receiver, quote unquote, but a guy who's just special with the ball. I thought we were missing that. And you can argue with me night and day. I think Kadarius Toney was that guy back in that season. When he had that punt return, you can say what you want to about him as a receiver, but when he got the ball in his hands, the kid was special. I think Brashard Smith brings that same type of aura, but he's better and he's younger and he's healthier. Brashard Smith, I think, complements the offense very well, along with the Rasheed Rice, who's a possession receiver that's turned himself into receiver one, can line up anywhere on the field. Xavier Worthy, dynamic with his speed. Hollywood has become a 2022 Juju Smith Schuster, if you will call it, with all the possession catches and tough catches across the middle, making himself available, doing the little things. Obviously, you still have a Juju. I think that'll unlock Travis Kelsey. We've seen a little bit of that. So, man, I'm excited where the offense is going. The defense, I still have questions about pass rush, and obviously we lose Omar Norman a lot. So there's a few things that I took from the game, but I was actually at that game because I celebrated a birthday. So, yeah, I was at that Raiders game right in front of that action, man. I meant to send you guys some pictures, but I was having a good time. It was my birthday. So, but yeah, it was exciting.
And we don't blame you for that.
Yeah. It was very exciting to see that up close and personal. Just a dominant performance from all parts of the team, and that's what you want to see going into your later parts of the season. We got one more game before the bye, and then we got Buffalo, and then we got Denver. So we got three tough games, and we got to make it all work.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is, well, I guess not good news, but not good news for Commanders fans is that Jaden Daniels will not be playing on Monday Night Football. But the good news is that we can get some revenge for the 2017 playoff game against the Titans by facing Marcus Mariota in Arrowhead on Monday Night Football. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little
Pat
bit of a
wasn't
revenge
playing.
game.
Yeah, Pat wasn't playing in that game, but he was on the team. Travis Kelsey, Chris Jones. I can't think of maybe anybody else.
Travis Kelsey got concussed in the middle of that game too. I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
that
well,
was
He
like the
he
turning point.
he went down the middle of that game. Tyreek dropped a touchdown pass. I mean,
Mariota
Marcus
caught himself.
Mariota caught it
Marcus
too.
Mariota. Yeah, the catch that
That was against a
hurt
good
so much, man.
defense. That was against a great defense, actually. That Derrick Johnson led team.
Yep.
I like those boys. Those boys were really solid. But yeah, man. I mean, it sucks for Commanders fans because I'm not gonna lie. You don't want to walk into Arrowhead on a Monday night on prime time, and the boys are rolling like that, and you don't have your number one guy, so that sucks. But the Commanders fans were talking a lot already, so I'm excited for the challenge for those guys to go out and try to put together another big performance. But man, Sunday was great to see that, especially from a divisional opponent because we usually get the Raiders, but to blow them out, dominate them like that, I think we send a message to the guys that's coming up on the schedule, like you better have your P's and Q's, your I's dotted and T's crossed when you come in the Arrowhead against those Chiefs or anywhere, because I think those guys are really playing well right now. But I seen it coming.
Yeah.
100%.
Good Morning Football put out a graphic this morning. NFL Network had reposted. Since 1992, there's only been 5 times that a defense has allowed 0 points, less than 100 yards, and less than 5 first downs, or 5 first downs or less in a single game. Only 3 times has it been done since the year 2000.
85 Bears on that?
And no, it was. So the last time was in 2008. It was the Falcons, ironically, at the Raiders. and the 2000 Jaguars against the Cleveland Browns. The only
Wow.
2 times that's been done since 2000. So yeah, no 2000 Ravens, no, like when you think of really good defense over there's no Legion of Boom on there, like none of those really good
Those
defense.
2010 Patriots, none of those teams
Nope,
on
none
there.
of those.
Not
None
even
of
the
those
Baltimore
teams.
Ravens from
Yeah.
like the early times.
None of those teams. So that there's domination, and then there's what happened on
2022 Chiefs? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Nope.
I'm kidding.
No, 2022 Chiefs either. Yeah, it's crazy to me. Just well, that film is bad. That offensive film of the Raiders is really bad.
Well,
Like,
let's kind of break it down. So I before I got disconnected, think about this. So 434 total yards for the Chiefs to 96 total yards. Which 152 rushing yards for the Chiefs compared to 26. They couldn't even get Genti the ball. They gave up real quick. This is an insane stat. The Chiefs had 30 first downs and the Raiders had 30 total plays. So they had as many. The Chiefs had 30. No, the Chiefs had 30 first downs. The Chiefs got 30 first downs, and the Raiders completed 30 plays. So they got as many first downs as the Raiders had offensively, like plays, which is an insane stat. 30 to 3.
Yeah,
originally.
It's so funny looking at the snap counts on defense because you're looking like the top snap count was only the top person who had snaps only played 74% of the snaps with 26. Like it looks like preseason. It looks like a preseason stat total when it comes to snap counts on defense. It's just wild to me. And then you look on offense. We ran 81 plays during that game. 81 plays. We almost tripled we almost tripled their play count, which is just it's crazy. And we lost a couple people in the middle of that game. Trey Smith went down in the middle of that game with a lower back. He's according to what reporting has been today, they expect he's going to be fine. So we should see him back out there by Monday, which is great. But shout out to Mike Caliendo, man. 32 pass blocking snaps per PFF and 0 pressures allowed. So, Max Crosby going down in the middle of that game obviously helps. But, that's not what we saw out of him last year. So, again, having guys being able to step up on that offensive line. Dylan Moore had another great day overall. Did get beat once that led to a sack, but otherwise just a really good job by the offensive line yet again. Overall, they grade in as the second best offensive line just behind the Broncos in football through 7 weeks. So that is a significant breath of fresh air for the Chiefs. And Rashid Rice comes back, scores touchdowns in his first game back. So, back like he never left.
Yeah, I think they have a solid group. I don't know about top 2. Those grades are a little shaky.
Hey, you can take them how you will, but the statistics are the statistics.
Are we talking about PFF grades?
Well, we're talking about a couple other different grades. I don't know if anybody follows Computer Cowboy on X, but his composite metrics take 3 separate ESPN. I don't remember what SIS is, but he also takes PFF into account as well, and his composite grades them out as the second best offensive line in football collectively. So, I can't argue that. They've played cohesively after at least the last 4 or 5 weeks as one of the best lines of football after having a couple of, in my opinion, rough games to start the season. So, hey, if they can, let's keep it rolling.
100%. Um, I think the thing is that I knew once we saw that Ravens game that the offense was going to be fine. Obviously there was some situation. Was talking about situationally, Trizzy. I wasn't talking about the offense. There's a difference. I didn't say we weren't going to make the playoffs. I didn't say that. I just said when it came to the small things, I wish that Jaguars loss kind of showed that we can't make the errors that we used to. But we course corrected and I was proven wrong. So, yeah. They showed what they did against the Lions and they continued that against the Raiders, and obviously adding Rashee Rice, I 2 touchdowns, and that second touchdown was sweet. I cannot wait for those
Back
red
shoulder fades
zone.
back, baby.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be great. But what I think about this game specifically is just the Chiefs just could do whatever they wanted. And I'm about to show a couple plays. The only drive that I was kind of shaky on was that third drive, but we still scored a touchdown. And that was when Mahomes almost threw a pick and then a couple balls got bad down. But other than that, I thought Mahomes just did whatever he wanted on the field. And obviously this play that I'm about to show you is a huge indicator of just they're in their bag. And you guys are going to be able to know which play this is. This is the 44-yard pass to Kelsey. Mahomes finds an open pocket, tries to get that one safety to bite so that Kelsey can get more wide open, and it easily works. Just excellent Mahomes play and self-awareness. Just letting that safety get distracted a little bit for Kelsey to have even more yards. I mean, and that throw, only Mahomes can do that stuff. It's just kind of insane the way he throws the ball here.
Yeah, nice Xavier Worthy action here. He basically keeps 2 guys occupied. Good sit route. I can't exactly tell who that is, but sit route occupies 2 guys. Worthy definitely is commanding attention with his motion here. So just good play design. I mean, since this is exactly what I've been asking for weeks is, look, guys, we need to stop being cute. Let's break out the stuff that we know works. Let's break out the formations that we know are going to work with these guys.
Yeah.
They've got every. This is just an example of everything's working for them. I mean, they're inside the 10-yard line, and it doesn't matter. Offensive line gives a great pocket. Kelsey finds the open zone, and he's off to the races, and we're at midfield. I mean, there's really not much else to say on that one.
Yeah, go back to that play real quick. Um, so there's a couple things in this play actually that you can get to, and the first thing is Patrick identifying the coverage, in which you can see every team is going to give us this too high look. All right, and they do a great job of using Kelsey again as the Kelsey that I know him to be, which is a tight end slash guy that can run any type of route you want him to run. So you get your eyes on Zay first of all, not just because you want the corner to drop, which Richard does a good job of pointing that out, but there's another guy in this play that matters too, which is this linebacker right here, because that would usually be his zone, but Andy Reid's scheme was sending Hollywood to split those guys, just bites that safety for a minute, and Patrick has his eyes straight on him. Like as he's stepping up, has his eyes straight on Worthy, just make him move a little bit, and now this guy has to leave. Just leaving a whole bunch of area, and he put that right on the rope on the run. Like that's just a beautiful play call. That's what happens when you have all your guys in sync, playing their roles, doing the things that they need to do. And shout out to the offensive line because Kelsey needed a little time to kind of climb up in front of the safety and be able to get right behind that linebacker and fill that void right there. So it's a hell of a play call from Andy Reid and the guys, and just a hell of an execution by Pat, making sure that deep guy doesn't get too deep on that crosser and letting them hang. That's a great ball right there. And it's 1st and 20 right there because we actually had a penalty. So
Yeah,
that was amazing.
That must be Noah Gray there because I don't know. He got the Kelsey gravity apparently because he immediately on that sit route had two people looking at him, and I guess that's what caught the linebacker to be looking in the backfield because I guess Pat was looking at him first because he
Eyes open.
definitely caught three people.
Yeah, Pat uses eyes to get them open. Or it's a cover two. Got the ball out, and just being able to step up in the pocket stuff. With Creed and Trey. Obviously, you want to be able to do more of that. But shout out to Kingsley too, man. He's been playing well. So all those moving parts have to happen. But it's a great cover two beater. You cross Kelsey from across the field, send Hollywood to split it, make one of those guys make a decision. If the guy try to drop down and cheat, it's a touchdown. If he stays and goes with him, you get Kelsey on the crosser. So it's amazing play. We just needed time for it to happen. So shout out to Andy Reid and the
I
guys.
mean, 2 plays later, and another tight end, Noah Gray, has a great.
This is a great concept here,
Mhm.
man. First off, shout out to Noah Gray running essentially an improvised wheel route here because, again, Brashard Smith. Is this Brashard? No, this is Pop. Apparently having that, but I think that is Brashard out there who
Brashard's
who
lined up in
runs
the
the
slot.
So shout out to Brashard's gravity as a rookie again for another week. Just being able to occupy guys, and they sell this so well. I don't know what we're looking at here in terms of the safety or the linebacker who's supposed to be on this guy, but no resistance off the line. Noah Gray splits two defenders. They bite on the quick out immediately, and I don't know what the safety is looking at. He gets caught flat-footed, and that gives Noah an extra 10 yards. So,
yeah, amazing.
just
Again,
another great design.
Yeah, another amazing play call. Also, them being, like I said, going back from years, being the best situational team in football. If you go to the play before, or a couple plays before, they line up in the same situation with Noah Graves, the H kind of walked out outside the slot, and you're just gonna throw this guy. They threw Brashard Smith a quick screen actually before they hit this up the seam. So when you throwing that quick screen, and I think someone like I can't remember who it was, but they pointed out, having Brashard Smith not being an actual wide receiver can make those corners and safeties feel threatened, like they need to come up. That was a great job of pointing that out because he's right. If that's anybody else, like they're good. There it is, right there. He gets what 6'5".
He gets 5 yards. That's
Yeah,
the same. It's the same play concept.
Literally
too.
same formation.
Yeah, we
too.
run it back. Here's Noah Gray. He's running the exact same play. They actually communicate this. They know where the ball is going. Noah Gray's running the same route. Still nobody covers him.
Juju's still blocking too.
Yeah,
it's
Juju's
literally
still
the
blocking.
same personnel and everything.
Yeah, the safety I told a lie here. The safety
this.
actually does the right thing here. He goes up and takes Noah immediately because Pat throws the ball so quick. He does the right thing and actually covers Noah up immediately, and that's why this limits the gain. And then the very next play, they don't do the correct thing because they bite on the fake, and it goes for 20 plus.
That's because he just showed you, like, just a great job of them guys being aware situationally, knowing that they're gonna jump that, knowing that you keep the same personnel out there. So hell of a play call again. Andy Reid and Matt Nagy games plan is working perfectly fine in these last 3 weeks, and just being able to do stuff like this is just why I think we'll be above water when that time comes, and I think those guys are just going to be able to find plays in situations like we see here. The Raiders are bad, don't get me wrong, but just them be able to take advantage of defensive alignment, defensive tendencies, different guys' tendencies, to put that a part of your play call, and be consistent with it situationally. Making plays like that is just phenomenal. So glad we have a guy like that calling plays, and Patrick Mahomes is just doing what Patrick Mahomes does, just on target, on time, on the money. First down, first and goal. Let's get it going. I think after this is the Rasheed Rice run in, right? So, I can't remember what the play. Well, yeah, this is shortly after that. And
I think the Rasheed Rice one is a couple plays after this because I think Rasheed was a lot closer. Yeah, because I think Pop gets here and then Rasheed runs it in.
Yeah.
So,
But what's funny is they're setting this up. They're setting that exact play up to Rasheed with that run, because I think Rasheed runs the exact same motion over and then just motions back.
yeah, this is Rashee Rice's first touchdown of the year. 7 catches, 42 yards. You kind of wish you would have a little bit more for his first game, but I mean, those 2 touchdowns were clutch, and you could just see how much of an impact he's already made back on the field. Everyone's already complaining about pop passes now. There's something new to complain about for the Kansas City Chiefs. Does Mahomes actually throw a pass here?
This is just great blocking by the offensive line. I mean, look at what this hole opens up at the point of attack, and there is nobody that's going to catch him.
And a face mask.
I mean, just look at this. You've got hats on hats everywhere. There is nobody coming to get him, and Rasheed just has to break 1 tackle. Beautiful blocking. That's the blocking that I want to see, and I've been waiting to see in the red zone. That's coming back on a weekly basis.
I mean, him getting a face mask here was still cold, and glad to have Rashee Rice back. I mean, I think the thing, I could show more plays about how dominant we were. And honestly,
I think it speaks for itself at this point.
It speaks for it. It's kind of hard to dunk on it, but the defense deserves a lot of credit as well. I mean, the way they were just able to do whatever they wanted as well. I think Jalen Watson had a really great game. Obviously, the Raiders just were playing scared and conservative. And
Noah Williams, 60% of the snaps this past game, so he got a lot more run comparatively to previous weeks. But I think you're going to see something probably pretty similar in terms schematically this week, because the Raiders were down Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers. It's looking fairly likely at this point that the Commanders are probably going to be down both Deebo Samuel and Terry McLaurin, or at the very least one of them. So now you're looking at backup quarterback who's throwing to backup wide receivers. So you're kind of looking at what is a recipe for a similar situation to what they looked at last week. So
100%. Honestly, just allowing Noel Williams to play more snaps, I think in this next game is going to be great. Just more of the defensive chemistry. I know there's a lot of talk about trading the trade deadline right now. I think reports are saying that Christian Fulton and Joshua Williams are trading pieces, which Fulton's kind of a surprise based off the contract they gave. But at the same time, like, if Noel is progressing this quickly, it's kind of hard to not give him the shot, you know?
Yeah. So I'm more in the boat of don't trade Christian Fulton if you can help it, just because you're setting yourself up at that point for a situation where you are once again one cornerback injury from having a similar situation to last year, where you're kind of having to try to piece it together as you go. I think Joshua Williams, yeah, we can have that conversation, sure, but I would rather you keep Christian Fulton and he's healthy and he's ready to go whenever you need him, because he doesn't play special teams. The reason why he's not playing right now is he doesn't play special teams. And if you're going to be CB4, you have to play some special teams, which is why Joshua Williams is active and playing every week, is because he plays on special teams. So I would rather they just keep Christian Fulton and try to make trades work elsewhere with the resources that they have. But if an opportunity presents itself where you could do a player for player, and which is rare in and of itself, but it does happen. It's already happened this year with the Jaguars and the Browns. So, it can happen, but I would need it to be for somebody that is definitely going to be a difference maker. Because essentially, if you're trading away Christian Fulton, for me, the expectation is he's going to start on the team that's going to him. So I would need to get some pretty good value back if we are essentially trading another team a starting corner. Because that would be why they're trading for him in the first place.
Oh, Dom there.
Yeah, it's tough for me because I know this defensive line needs help. I know this defensive line needs it needs more pass rush. The numbers in a lot of instances are kind of lying. Their pressure to sack ratio is not great. Their pass rush win rate is not great. But at the same time, their numbers say that they're getting pressure with 4 and they're getting pressure when they're not blitzing. The eye test doesn't match up with that at this point. We have enough data now to where I have to say, look, we need more pass rush help. The options out there are pretty good. Jalen Phillips has been linked to the Chiefs. Malik Collins on the Browns would be a good option for them, especially with the loss of Omar Norman Lott. They need more interior. They need to shore up that interior rotation because, quite frankly, they now at this point have to call up the practice squad guys, Broderick Martin, Zach Pickens. They have to at this point because there is nobody else left now that Omar Norman Lott's gotten injured. And so could that require a Christian Fulton trade? Possibly. And if it does, then I guess we can have that conversation and it would probably be worth it in the long run if it shores up the defensive line and kind of completes the roster. I'm over running back. I don't think a running back is at this point is needed. Trizzy, I don't know what your thoughts are on it specifically, but personally for me, if they're going to make any trades, it needs to be for the defensive line before anything else.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was never on the train of getting a running back. I think Brashard Smith is going to be a guy that we use a lot of. I think they are going to, have their games where they're chipping in well and doing what they're supposed to do. People can, pray for a home run hitter all they want to. This offense is not necessarily built right now for us to have a dynamic running back. It's for us to have a guy who's a threat in the passing game. I think Pacheco's been playing better. It's not been great, but it's been better. I think Kareem has been serviceable, above average. Made some plays, got some first downs, running hard, running tough. We're going to need that. And I'm not trying to discount the run game from where we are, but when you got 4-1-5 cooking and 8-7 somewhere in the tight end room, and you bringing in Noah Gray, and you bring in a Brashard Smith, and you're able to bring in a Tyquan Thornton and Juju Smith-Schuster, and you have Andy Reid calling plays, you want to. There's nothing wrong with being able to sustain drives. We've seen this offense do that more than luckily, but there are times where we're going on 4 plays, 87 yards, or 6 plays for 82 yards, and it's just like, man, the offense is back, taking their shots, connecting with guys, making it easier for us to kind of navigate our offense and attack defensive. So for us to get back to the offense, we have to throw the ball a little bit. And I think what really helps us out is, having a guy on third downs that can go get home, that can be, sticky and run, try to get his hands filthy or get some pressure or cause some havoc, that allow Patrick Mahomes to see the ball as much as possible. Because with an offense like that, now you're playing offense on the defense and they don't even have the ball, I don't know if that makes sense, but reiterating that is just that you're able to get a Rasheed Rice back, who is a guy that you can go to in third down situations, right? And the Chiefs, playing well on defensive are stopping the run pretty well. So now you allow yourself to be in passing situations. Obviously, we know what Spags brings to the table with his scheme. Sometimes he does a little too much, but that's the living and dying with Spags. But all in all, he has a great resume, and we see why. Week in and week out, he's just able to scheme out situations and do things differently. So if you add a dynamic pass rusher or a guy who can get home to that group already, you're obviously giving your offense a chance to get on the field as many times as possible, which is always positive when Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, as the two guys calling plays, especially when it matters. I love that recipe right there. So we can get a guy that can get the ball back into our offensive hands and let us go on drives and score points. And I'm all for trading Christian Fulton 100%.
Yeah, I think at this point the defense looks like it's starting to round out into form. I think they just need to keep playing complementary football now that the offense seems to have found their stride. They understand how they want to attack defenses. All the pieces are there. So I think as long as everybody stays healthy, I think the defense will continue as long as they continue to be complementary to what the offense is doing and give them as many opportunities as they can. Like you said, I think we'll continue to be fine going forward. It's another primetime game. I know that this Commanders team is hurt at the moment, and they just lost another piece in Dorrance Armstrong, who I believe is leading the team in sacks for the season. So this is kind of a hobbled Commanders team right now, but I think without Jaden Daniels, I think this should be another one of those games that if everybody takes care of business, this should be a comfortable win. And then we move on to the yearly, at this point, matchup with the Buffalo Bills. The one thing I need them not to do, though, is focus on this week. I need them to focus on this week. Let's not get caught looking forward to games that are weeks in the future. They have a bye week coming up. This is having that mid-season bye is going to be good for them compared to having it so early in the season the last couple of years. So I think as long as everybody stays the course and stays focused, which has looked like it's been a point of emphasis this year, I think there's no reason why they shouldn't be 5-3 heading into the Bills week.
Yeah. I already kind of talked about where I thought the team would be and what I thought of the offense earlier on, and I thought the defense would change some things. And I don't think the Chiefs are too far ahead. I think they're right where they need to be as far as tuning things up and getting ready for the deeper run in the playoffs. Obviously, it sucks when you lose a guy like Omar Norman Lott, who brings a lot to the table, especially as a rookie, being so young and talented. And that Chiefs defense next to Chris Jones, really helps us a lot. So hopefully we can find someone with some production or similar skill set or better to come in and make some havoc. We'll see what happens. I trust Veach, so if he make a move, then his track record has shown that he knows what he's talking about. But yes, unfortunate for the Commanders fans that their guy's not healthy, but I really like where the Chiefs are to be a little bit of a competition up front with the good interior D line, and so it'll be a challenge for Creed, Kingsley, and Trey. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those guys respond because they've been solid, more than solid actually. They've been great. So I'm looking forward to that, and just obviously continuing to see the offense attack different ways. So I'm excited for the matchup, excited for the guys to go out and get prepared, for a deeper playoff run. And these next three games are coming up with the Bills and the Broncos are very important games that they have to win right now because they already have 3 losses. So at first I thought, our next loss would be Buffalo, but if we continue to play like this, and they're going to get better and stay healthy, I think the sky's the limit for this team. So we'll see what happens, but ready to see those guys on Monday Night Football. Hopefully we can continue to get guys healthy, but no doubt about the team. Told you guys where we would be. We sitting here, we getting healthy, we getting better. So I'm excited for the guys. A lot on the field to do.
Yeah, I think it's funny. This feels like it's been a season of trying to exercise some old demons. We've never won in New York against the Giants before this season. We're getting a chance to see Marcus Mariota starting quarterback for a team again after that really unfortunate playoff loss against Tennessee. And coming up in a few weeks, we get our favorite AFC South team, the Colts. So that'll be another really good game. They're playing probably like the best team in football right now, but that is for another time. Should be a pretty good game. You have any early? Do you want to do any early score prediction for what you think that Commanders game is going to be? Because I think it's probably going to be something like a 31-17 or a 31-10, something like that. I think that Marcus Mariota they'll get a couple drives where they move the ball, but I just think with the team playing like this, I don't see it not being a 2-score game once it's all said and done.
Yeah, as long as those guys go out there and, take care of business, execute, be great situationally like we've been these last couple of weeks, I have no doubt about it. As long as they win the game, I don't care what it looks like. Obviously, I want them to be dominant and go out there, but this is the National Football League. Guys can't play. I will give the Commanders fans the fact that they have a Frankie Louvu, they have a Bobby Wagner, guys that are known, great linebackers. So it'll be a challenge for our guys, but I think all things considered, and them not having Jaden Daniels obviously sucks. So yeah, they're gonna have to put some things together if they're gonna stay in the game because we're gonna score points and we've shown that. So I'm excited about those guys' opportunities to go out there and put some guys to rest there. Sean Lattimore was just over there. He's not really having a great year. So, everybody's going to come and bring the A game against the Chiefs, though, especially on prime time. So I think our guys will be ready for the challenge. So I'm just excited to see how they respond.
Yep. I think in the words of Andy Reid, we are looking forward to the challenge of playing the Commanders. Let's get to 5-3, and then it's on to one of the matchups of the year. So I think that's about it from us, guys. We appreciate everybody showing up on X, on YouTube, and listening wherever you get your podcasts. Should be an interesting game. You never know what can happen when you got a team that really wants to get a win that's having to put some backup guys in there. And hopefully once we get on the other side of it and we see you guys next week, the Chiefs will be 5-3 going into a great matchup. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. And until next time, guys, go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs. Let's go.